No, no, no. You're not about to watch another mid-year reset video that promises you can magically become that person that achieves all her goals in the next 6 months. You know exactly how those videos go. You watch them, you feel super inspired and super motivated for about 48 hours, and then what happens? Reality kicks in, and you go right back to your old habits. Then you do the same exact thing in December, especially when the algorithm loves to feed us these end of year resets, Vision Board 2027, and becoming a brand new person overnight. So, let me save you some time and tell you that that strategy is not going to work. How do I know this? Because I have been in this loop way too many times for me to even count. So, this is the first time that I have decided to go completely against this trend. And what we're instead going to do is an edit. Our singular objective for the next 6 months is to end 2026 on our terms, which means not looking at the calendar in December and wondering where all the time went. Welcome to the mid-year edit. When I said I'm going to save you time, I meant it. So, here's exactly what we're doing in this video. Maybe this is a data analyst in me, but I never understood why we called it a reset. Why would I throw away 6 months of data? I already have the information of what's working and what's not working. So, hell yeah, I'm gonna use it. To show you exactly what I mean, let me show you the example with two girls. Let's assume that one is doing the mid-year reset and the other one is doing the mid-year edit. Let's call the first girl the reset girl and the second girl the edit girl. You can see for yourself where they differ across 4 different real-world scenarios and why an edit works better than a reset. Scenario number 1, handling past progress. The reset girl looks at her vision board and notices that her fitness goals and her studying goals have been way too lagging behind in April and May. And suddenly, this massive guilt hits her. To cope, she rips out the pages from her planner, archives her old digital vision boards, and tries to completely wipe the slate clean. She treats the first 6 months like it was a total failure and wants to start over from absolute zero so she could completely meet her goals this time. Now, the edit girl looks at the same missed goals purely as a business report. Instead of spiraling into shame, she asks, why did I stop going to gym in March? And uses that actual data to build a smarter strategy. Scenario number 2, setting new intentions. It is late June and on a Sunday afternoon, the reset girl's dopamine is spiking because she just spent the last 3 hours watching aesthetic mid-year reset vlogs. She writes down a new, rigid, brutal schedule. She convinces herself that tomorrow she will magically become this brand new person who meditates for 20 minutes, drinks warm lemon water as soon as she gets up, and never opens social media before noon. But the edit girl takes a completely different path. She designs her routine around the person she actually is on a chaotic, low-energy Monday afternoon. Because, hey, that is the person who actually needs the routine to work. Scenario 3, managing the workload. The reset girl looks at July with dread and feels like she's running out of time. So, she overcompensates by piling on more tasks for her to do. She downloads 3 new habit trackers, buys an expensive planner, promises that she's going to read a book a week, hit the gym 5 times a week, and start a side hustle all at the same time. And why does she do this? To make up for the lost time. But by Thursday afternoon, she ends up on her bed, paralyzed, and ends up scrolling for 3 hours straight. The edit girl does the exact opposite. She practices ruthless subtraction. She intentionally crosses out all the goals that she doesn't actually care about right now. And the result is instant, beautiful clarity and relief. Scenario 4, maintaining long-term consistency. The reset girl treats her reset like it's one-time, high-stress weekend performance. She spends 6 hours deep cleaning her apartment, washing her makeup brushes, meal prepping, and also makes a brand new mid-year vision board. It feels amazing, but 3 days later, her room is messy again because life gets chaotic. And because the event is over, she feels like she's completely fallen off track. But the edit girl realizes that this is an ongoing evolution. She doesn't expect a single weekend to magically save her entire year. She knows that she can constantly adjust, tweak, refine the approaches as she goes along. When you look at these two paths side by side, the conclusion is pretty obvious. The reset path is a stressful loop of guilt and burnout. The edit path is all about relief, clarity, and actual execution. So, be an edit girl. And now I'm going to show you step by step on exactly how to do that. Think of the edit like in 4 moving parts. All of these 4 moving parts must come together for it to fully click. Moving part number 1, pull the receipts. Before we judge a single goal, we need to get evidence. And we do this by pulling literal receipts of what we already have. And why do we do this? Because we are not going to rely on our memory. Your memory is basically a highlight reel edited by whatever current mood you're currently in. If you feel bad today, you will only remember your failures. So we're going to bypass that entirely. For example, if you had a fitness goal, open your health app and look at the steps you took or the gym sessions that you actually hit. If you had a financial goal, look at your banking statement or your banking app. That will tell you all you need to know about your financial habits in the last 6 months. Now with the receipts right in front of you, you are going to go through every category of your life. So health, career, finances, relationships, personal growth. And you're going to compare it with what your January self wanted. And your current self is going to put them in one of these 3 buckets. Keep, trash, evolve. Yes, I still want this and this feels exciting and realistic to achieve. If you're thinking that goes in the keep bucket. I thought I wanted this in January, but honestly, I don't care about it anymore. And also, it is not very realistic for me to put it into my schedule. If you're feeling this way, put it in the trash bucket, drop the guilt, and cross it off the list. I still want the vibe of this, but the specific goal has to change. For example, my January self wanted me to hit the gym 5 times a week. But my current July self realizes that doing yoga twice a week and walking every single day is actually a much more realistic goal for me to do. So that goes in the evolve bucket. But there is a golden rule. If you want to put your goals in the evolve bucket, you have to answer the edit girl's question first. Why did the original January version of that die? In fact, I made an entire video breaking down the 4 structural points where every habit breaks. I call it the habit decoder. If you realize one of your goals belong in the evolve bucket instead of the trash bucket, I'd highly recommend you watch the video after this. Because if we don't fix the root cause, the new version of that is going to inherit the same exact problem and have the same exact outcome. Moving part 3. Kill the flawless fantasy version. Now that our data is sorted, we need to absolutely destroy those impossible standards we set for the goals we decided to keep. This is what I mentioned in this video, where one of the reasons we remain stuck is because we have this flawless fantasy version of ourselves in our head doing the task so perfectly, but that simply does not exist. So today, we are killing that. Let's take studying and grades as an example. The flawless fantasy version tells you, I'm going to study every single day for 4 hours straight, not get distracted, and maintain a perfect GPA throughout the entire semester. Then you have one bad day, get one mediocre result in a test. Or you just get tired and the fantasy cracks. And because you can't be that perfect, you give up entirely. But the edit is not going to let you do that. Because the edit says, I'm going to study 45 minutes of focused time every single day, use active recall, accept a realistic study schedule, and keep moving forward even if the grade isn't perfect. Notice the difference? Now that we've killed the flawless fantasy version of the goals that we actually care about, the only bucket left is to choose our anchors for the remaining 6 months. This can range between 1 to 3 things. The only question you need to ask yourself is, from these goals that I care about, which 1 to 3 things, if they happen by the time this year ends, would make me feel like I genuinely ended the year on my terms? Pick them, those are your anchors, and you are gonna go after them. For me, personally, the anchors are growing this YouTube channel and walking 8 to 10k steps every day. Now that we have all of our moving buckets, the only part remaining is that we need an ongoing system to make sure we don't end up right back here in the same slump by the time December comes. As I mentioned in my last video, one of the things that I've been doing consistently in this year is reflecting every single day. just spending at least 5 minutes reflecting on how the day went. I'm doing this so I don't feel like time is just disappearing. I'm going to apply the same thing here. You don't have to spend every single day measuring your progress or stressing over your metrics. You're just going to schedule a monthly check-in with yourself. Put it in your digital calendar right now so you start getting notifications automatically. And in that monthly check-in, you're going to sit down with your notebook or your laptop and you're going to ask yourself just these 4 questions. What's working? What's not working? What needs editing? And what can I let go of? That's it. Notice how the question isn't, how do I do another reset? We're not doing that. Instead, we're going to shift our focus on making better edits every single month. And to make this all super easy, I built this whole thing in one page. It's called the Mid-Year Edit Sheet. It has all the steps that I mentioned in this video and it's completely free. The link is right down in the description below and it takes 10 seconds to grab. Do it on paper, not in your head. The edits you make in your head don't count. It doesn't ask you to become a different person overnight. It doesn't expect you to complete 50 goals by the time this year ends. It just asks you to use the data that you've already collected to make better decisions for the rest of the year. I want to build a community of real grounded people who are completely done with the flawless fantasy version of themselves. And right now, as I film this video, we're at 42 subscribers. If you want to be a literal founding member of this channel before the year wraps up, hit that subscribe button and join the loop. Stop resetting, start editing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.